Welcome back to Coach's Corner. It is week 3 of our high school football season, and the Ponca City Wildcats will return home to Sullivan Stadium this week to take on Shawnee. And the Wildcats come in with a 1-1 record. Haven't talked to Coach because of the Labor Day weekend last week, so we'll kind of catch up. Ponca City opened the season with a great win over Enid, but this past week down in Guthrie, they lose 28-19 to a Guthrie team, which you and I knew was really a good team. They lost their season opener coach, but you knew that Guthrie had something to prove. That was probably the worst thing that happened to the Ponca City Wildcats is that Guthrie lost their first game.
Yeah, no doubt. You're right. Well, you're right. That being said, honestly, watching the field being objective, we did a lot of good things in the game. But here's the but. We got to clean up some things. The special teams, like our Guthrie started every drive on the 40-yard line. Almost throughout the whole game, we started every drive inside our own 20. About everything. I mean, that was throughout from first to fourth. So we got a problem there. We've got to fix how we can get better field position. It came to bite us in that game, obviously. And then honestly, not to take away, Guthrie, they did what they needed to win, but really we helped them out with 2 drives of less than 5 yards apiece, with a fumbled shotgun snap and a punt return that one of our guys got hit and the ball was recovered by Guthrie inside the 5-yard line there. So that's 14 points that you never really had to make them work for. And then we, early third play of the game, we really, we blew a coverage and they took advantage of that. And so, they did what they had to. That's credit to them. It's our lack of focus, our lack of attention to the detail on a couple of things cost us in the game, because really offensively we did the best we've ever done since I've been there against Guthrie. Guthrie poses a challenge with their scheme and their pressure, but we nickel and dimed our way down. A couple big passes here, but still ran the ball, nickel and dimed a little bit, here and there, all the way to 3 scores, against them. And but still missed an extra point, and that kind of thing. So we've got to really clean up our special teams, because it's right now in tight games it's gonna bite us. So, but I think our defense, after the couple big passes early in the game, our defense really they bent a little bit, but they never they always seem to come up and get them in a 3rd and 5, 4th and 5 throughout most of the game. We gave out, quarterback run game hurt us a little bit on defense. But other than that, after those 2 passes, they really didn't pass for much. We stopped their tailback run game. Really all they had was the quarterback run game, which was getting us for a little bit. But, I thought our defense held up throughout most of the game, and then our offense did what it needed to do throughout most of the game. And then at the end of the game, we had a couple penalties, or one kind of unlucky break, and one break we had a formation that was kind of a trick formation that one of our guys was off on film. It was an illegal formation and should have been. So that's, again, lack of focus thing that you're in an environment that we practiced and we know not to do, and when we did that, and that hurt us in one of our drives when we were driving late in the game. And then we had an unlucky call with the ref seeing 2 mouthpieces on a helmet from Guthrie, and thinks that one of them's not in, and didn't see the other one that the guy had in his mouth. And, when we get ready to snap the play, we would have picked up the first down on 4th and 2 from the original play call, that gets blown dead. And
that was a weird play, Coach.
That was a weird play.
So the kid had 2 mouthpieces?
Yeah, he had his had a helmet issue. Face mask was broken. They grab another helmet off the sideline, put it on him. Obviously, that has that other kid's mouthpiece in.
Okay.
He took his mouthpiece out, so one's dangling. And so the ref doesn't think he has his mouthpiece.
Right.
But I mean, but
that was a weird
play. Call because the play was snapped before, and we had a good.
Not often do they change their minds on those.
Yeah. And so next thing you know, we got an inverted whistle there. Play doesn't count. It was going to be a penalty. Now, granted, it was going to be a penalty versus Guthrie from his mind view, which would have helped us, but still. Just for us, nobody's just unlucky.
Let's let us run the play.
Because we had a great play called. We were going to get a first down.
Yeah.
And then now they sniff that play out, and we, still. And then even after that, the spot was a little on film. Spot was very, very close. Let's say that. And so, but anyway, we had a drive there that gets shot down, and anyway, so we just didn't do enough. Too many dumb too many dumb mistakes at Guthrie. But overall, we are a different team. We're competing. I think in many ways, we can go to places like Guthrie and win this year.
You and I've done this a long time, and for us to sit here and talk about a team that's state championship caliber comes down to 2 or 3 plays. That's not something we've been able to do. But these teams, Coach, everybody's so even that. I mean, anybody of these first 3 games, now we really had a great game against Enid, but you look at Shawnee and Duncan and Guthrie, 3 teams that all appear to be pretty equal in talent, and then it does come down to one play or two plays that are going to decide the game between even teams.
And you're right. That's what Phil, I'm going to mention with my guys today at practice is just how we need to be more focused on those little things, and that when you're playing good teams, because we're going to get ready to go into district play, not every game is going to be like that first game against Enid. We're going to have to learn how to compete down the wire, get in fourth quarter games and pull them out, and be smart about your special teams and things like that. They matter, and cut down on, things like that. Right now, our offense, the only thing that's ever stopping right now in the last 2 games, our offense is usually things that we do. Usually, and so, in defense, is doing well too. So, but our special teams really, though, our field position has not been where it needs to be. So we need to improve that. Now, kickoff return, I think, has done a good job. Keller's bringing it out, and we're getting decent field there. But you're right. Shawnee beat Duncan pretty good. Scored a lot against Duncan, and Duncan had beaten Guthrie. So, go figure. So we got so Shawnee is going to be an opponent we've got to be ready for. I've seen plenty of film. If we don't bring our A game this game, then we'll get beat. So we need to refocus, have a lot of energy, do our jobs. All 22 guys on both sides of the ball plus special teams. We need to be focused in and have our edge to ourselves. Similar like how we had the Enid. We did. We had a lot of edge to ourselves, and we need to bring that back for Shawnee here and get back on the winning path.
You were talking about your senior Elwood, who has been tremendous for you for 3 years now, but he made a catch that I'm sure you guys watched it in the film room. That was just spectacular on Friday night.
Yes, yeah. Well, he caught a couple of them. Caught a fade for a touchdown, caught a slant and go up the sideline, and caught a deep post for there. No, he's a speed guy, and we're close to getting 1 or 2 more from him. So, no, he is a guy that has added a new dynamic to our offense. He's fast. Really, like I said, always, it doesn't take a backseat to really anybody. We'll challenge every team that we play with Keller going deep, and he can go. So he's an element we didn't have last year that we're hoping that will help us out, even just help us, with teams respecting him, that we can get some softer coverage sometimes for, shorter routes and things like that. So, but he can land if they want to play up tight, he can go above them, and we can land the big play several times, with him. So really like where he's at in our offense right now. So. Glad he's doing, but then of course he plays DB, defensive back. That's his main. Honestly, that's his first position. Is he's a 3-year starter at our corner position, and does a great job, shutting people down from that. So anyway, yeah, we're glad he's a Ponca Wildcat.
We were talking about the 3rd game of the season, and it's not something you do on purpose, but you look at games and you go, I think that game is going to be one that if we play okay, we can take. And, before the season, I think Shawnee was a game because they lost one of the top quarterbacks in the state off of their team last year. And so I think that's unfortunate. It's almost a feeling of relief. We don't have to see that guy who we saw for 3 years, and he went up and down the field, although we beat him last year. And then they come in and they score 48 points against a Duncan team that beat Guthrie a week ago. And Coach, I know you've already examined everything about Shawnee, but apparently they've got an offense that can move the ball.
Yeah, it's a tale of 2 films. I mean, now McGinnis, things didn't go right for Shawnee, and and I don't know if it's the best. McGinnis is good. McGinnis has a good football team, but still, Duncan was just as solid as McGinnis was, and Shawnee does not play well versus McGinnis, and then they turn around and play play an outstanding game versus Duncan. So so that just now I respect. I mean, Shawnee, they have it in them. If they bring their A game, then it's going to be a dogfight. So we need to be very, very ready. They got a great. They got solid on both sides of the ball, solid offense and defense. I know our defensive coaches are they're definitely have plenty of respect for what their offense is doing right now and what they did against Duncan. They're running the ball extremely well, and then they've always had a spread system where they throw it and throw screens a lot. So we got to have our guys ready to go. And as far as their defense is good too. And so did a lot of good things against Duncan and that high-powered Duncan offense.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, right now, our offense or Duncan's offense, both Duncan, Shawnee's already seen. They've already seen two good offenses with McGinnis and Duncan, so they'll be ready for our offense. So it's going to be a good game.
It's a non-district game. It's the final non-district game, and that's the thing that I think we kind of talk about a lot, or we do on the radio, is that you're 1-1 now. They're both non-district games. We don't call them preseason games, but the main thing is to get ready for the district season, and that's what you'll go into this game, I'm sure, approaching, is that we want to win at all costs, but we also want to make sure we're going in the right direction. And do you feel that the attitude of the players is good right now, even though we suffered a tough loss?
Oh yeah, they're fine. Nobody was, they were mad that everybody. What was good, positives, everybody was mad that we lost. You saw a lot of disappointment on the guys' faces, but they've recovered. Because deep down they know that we did some good things and we're okay, and that we just need to correct some small things. And as kids, you pick on that. They know they can't give Guthrie two 5-yard drives, mm-hmm. and we know we got to kind of clean up and focus a little more in our secondary. So those are so fixable on that front. So our guys know that they were competing right there. So that is different than getting blown out physically or seeing major issues. Then that's when you got some morale issues that you worry about. But no, our guys just suffered a close loss, and they know that they can rebound, and if they can do things right, they have confidence in that we're a good team. So that's all the answer to the question. That we got confidence that we're a good team, but still need to keep an edge to us, focus in, to make sure that we perform the way we need to on Friday night.
So, are you a math teacher?
I'm not.
Okay. Well, see, I just remember that they put a line there, and it was called a common denominator.
Yeah.
And this common denominator is, we win at home. Duncan beats Guthrie at Duncan. Guthrie beats us at Guthrie, and Shawnee beats Duncan at Shawnee. Yeah. The common denominator is the home field advantage. Yeah. And so if everything's equal, we got to make that home field be worth at least 3 or 4 points for us.
Absolutely, no doubt.
I thought it was for Guthrie. I thought that was a home field advantage.
Yeah, it was. I was communicating with plays and signals, and from there, you felt a little rattled.
Uh-huh.
So no, we need to bring that excitement here this week, and come out, enjoy the game, get loud. We got a good ball club. We can win games this year. I think we can win every game this year if we focus in the way and play up to our potential. So we can rebound real quick, but it's going to be a tough game. And Shawnee is more incapable than coming into our house and winning if we don't do things the way we're supposed to. But I like where we're going, and I think we'll be ready to go.
Just for the record,
yeah.
What do you teach?
I teach U.S. history and government.
Government.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. See, he is a teacher, folks. He has a job to do.
No doubt.
Good luck. We'll see you on Friday night, 7 o'clock, Sullivan Stadium, Ponca City, and Shawnee. For Chris Adams behind the camera, for Coach Allen, I'm Phil Turney.